Hey, Donovan here, and today my aim is to answer a question that I'm asked a lot, and I don't think I've ever actually answered it in any of my free content. So, one of the last YouTube videos that I put out had a comment underneath that video asking, when should you stop Facebook ads? Like, when should you stop them? When should you look to launch a new one? And a lot of people ask me this question, and I don't think I've ever answered it in one of my free pieces of content. So here we are. I'm going to go ahead and answer it today. So what I'm going to use for this is two different ad accounts, so I can show you why we stop it in some cases and why we don't stop it in the other. Hopefully, at the end of this video, within the next 5 or 10 minutes, you're going to know the answer to this question, and it means you're going to be able to run your Facebook ads better, get better results, and get more members into your martial arts school. So let's jump straight into it. Right, awesome. So this is the first ad account I'm going to use as an example. So this is one of our clients. They joined us because they didn't know how to run Facebook ads. They didn't know how to market, and they didn't know how to get results from Facebook ads. And we launched 2 ad sets within this campaign, one targeting adults and one targeting kids. Now, one of them has 160 leads at like £1.40 a lead. And then the other one's got like 130 leads at like £1.90 a lead. And that averages out at £1.74 per lead. And we've had 300 Facebook leads since we started this campaign, and we've only spent like £500. Now, we're getting incredible results for this client, and the cost per lead is consistently staying at £1.74 per lead. Now, since we started, it has not rose in any way, really. So it started at about £1 a lead. It's, kind of averaged out at £1.74 per lead. The point is, it's an incredible cost per lead. So we've made no changes, and we plan to make no real changes. Now, that's because this ad is giving us the results that we want. So we're focusing on our follow-ups. We're focusing on how we can contact the leads. We're focusing on how we can up the show-up rate, how we can get higher conversions. We're focusing on all that stuff. The issue definitely, the first issue we'd look at if we weren't getting results is not the cost per lead. We can see that the cost per lead is absolutely incredible. So my point is, if something isn't broken, don't try and fix it. So we're getting incredible results for this client. We're spending £1.74 per lead for every single lead that comes through. That is way lower than the average, which means we don't need to change anything. So a lot of people try and put like a timeline in their heads of like, I'm going to stop this ad in 2 weeks' time. I'm going to spend exactly £300 across the next 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to stop that ad. That's the wrong way to look at it in my mind. I think that you should just consistently advertise. And when things aren't working, you should try new things. So if we threw up these campaigns and they didn't work, then we'd maybe pick the adults one or the kids one, whichever one was performing the best. And maybe we'd throw up 3 different campaigns, all different, and see which one works the best, and then stop the ones that weren't working and continue spending money on the ones that were working. So my answer is, if something isn't broken, don't fix it. So don't stop your campaign that's getting £3 leads because you are bored, or you want to do something, or you want to make changes to try and, I don't know, you just think by making changes, you're actually working and doing something. You don't need to. If it's working, just leave it alone. The work has been done. Let Facebook do its thing. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you an ad account which is a little bit tougher, where we actually do make changes, and I'm going to explain why we make those changes. So let's go straight into that. Here's one of our clients where it's a little bit tougher, and we can't just, hit a home run straight from the start. So he actually started working with us recently. Their follow-up system, everything that they have in place is absolutely incredible. But their problem was that they couldn't actually get the Facebook lead cost down. So for example, as you can see, these are some of the ads they've run in the past. £25 a lead, £68 per landing page view, £22.50, £9.97, £48, like £20, £38, £19. Yeah, you get the point. They're a bit all over the place as far as the results are concerned. And then in most recent times, they brought it down to like £12, £13, £14, £15 a lead. So we jumped on, and our goal was literally just to bring the cost per lead down. The follow-up system, everything they've got in place after that is already incredible. So what we did straight away was let me highlight the campaigns that we actually started. So what we did straight away, first thing we did was we just tested a load of different campaigns. So we split the budget, so it was like £5 a day for each one of these campaigns. And we just straight away wanted to see which ones were going to work the best. So when we launched them, we noticed straight away that we had an outlier. So this one here was getting £18.37 a lead. The other ones were getting around between £5 and £7 per lead. So straight away, no point wasting budget for ages. we turn that campaign straight off. There's no point wasting the money on that one. It's not giving us the results that we want. So we didn't wait and say, oh, in a couple of weeks' time, maybe it'll get better or anything like that. We turned it off. We've got better performers that we can focus on. So that one was straight off. This one, I think it started rising. So we turned that one off as well. And then these two were the ones that we kind of settled on. Now, these cost per leads are between £6 and £7 aren't representative to what they were. It's just because we've upped the budget, so the cost per lead has rose recently. But these were sitting around £5 per lead, which is why they were the ones that we left on. Now, if I dive into the actual ad sets, you can see some more testing that we did recently. So as you can see here, we launched this campaign. So our client said that they wanted to spend a little bit more money. So we launched this campaign along with these two, and we were spending around £35 per day. What we noticed pretty quickly was this new one that we were testing was getting £12.68 per lead, which is double what the other two were getting. So we turned this one straight off, and we've left the money filtering into these two, where we're getting between £5 and £7 per lead. Now, this client that we're working with, before working with us, was getting a cost per acquisition of like £34, £35. So for every new member that actually joined, they were spending about £35. Since we started running ads, their cost per acquisition has came down below £20. So considerably lower. I think it's actually like £15, £16 per acquisition. So considerably lower than what it was. So we're pretty happy with the results that we're getting. So we may do a little bit more testing. But if these cost per leads hold around £5 to £7, then we're going to be pretty happy as far as the results that we're getting. We're going to be happy as long as we're hitting our goal that we want to hit. Of course, we can put a little bit more money into testing, but overall, don't fix what isn't broken. If we find that we're getting a really good acquisition cost that we're happy with, then we may hold it here for a little bit longer. And then when these start to rise, then maybe we'll start to test a little bit more. But what I think is the correct answer when it comes to marketing and comes to advertising, if you're getting the result you want and you're very happy, then don't start making pointless changes. Do you know what I mean? And that's it. That is literally it. Don't fix what isn't broken. And if you're getting a cost per lead that you're really happy with, just keep it at that. And then, of course, if there's campaigns that aren't working, then turn them off and then move on to something new. That's everything from me. My name's Donovan. I obviously help martial arts schools add a lot more members to their schools. So if you want to know a little bit more about that, there's a link in the description below. Go ahead and click it, and hopefully see you soon.